The Broncos are back, baby.
So back.
And we are back here on a extended, I would say an hour, but it's over an hour.
Wow.
70
minutes.
Doing it big here for the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. I'm just trying to kill time until we finally can see us. I've got my guy, Andre Simone, my guy, Henry Chisholm, and of course, I'm RK. Gentlemen, we have a great challenge ahead of us.
We really do.
And it is not the Buffalo Bills.
What?
It is us being able to do the show without being nonsensical for 30 minutes.
Right.
If you watched yesterday and then you watch today, you'll have no idea that that's the same three people. Because we're about to lock in. I was about to curse, but we're not supposed to do that. We're professional. We're doing it.
No, it's a different show.
Yeah.
Most of all, I think it's so amazing that Bet365 would present all that incredible content.
It is nice, huh?
Yeah, I'm so
Including
glad you
today.
presented me with that information.
Yeah.
And so
we're
shout
never
out,
ordinary, Ryan.
We're never ordinary. Shout out to Bet365 for presenting the pregame show here from the Toyota Lounge. The vibes are amazing here in the bar. The vibes are going to be great on this show.
Ryan, people waiting outside the bar when I pulled up.
It's
Electric.
and this is what we deserve as Broncos fans. This is what we expect. This is what being a Broncos fan is all about. And we've lost that over the last 9 years. And it feels so good to just be back in the playoffs, but to be back to the pride of being a Broncos fan. As I drove down here today, every single person I saw on the streets was wearing orange and blue and in one way or another. I saw several Vaughn jerseys outside. It just is right. You know, there's a lot of push and pull of whose town this is, but the truth is it's Broncos town. And it has been for, I don't know, the better part of 50 years now.
Broncoton.
Exactly. And it's a beautiful thing to be back where we are.
Sure is. So the rule is I can't spill milk all over myself today?
Nah, well, you could. You're wearing white.
Yeah.
I could. Cream, actually.
Yes.
If it was a thicker milk.
Whoa. Couldn't have said it better myself, though, Ryan. Four generations for a lot of us of Broncos fans. I guess I've got a daughter, so she's the fourth generation. And days like this make it feel super damn special.
I'm only a third generation. What generation Bronco fan are you?
Yeah, we're all third generation.
All third?
I mean, my grandparents were definitely Broncos fans, but also they were born and raised in Chicago and moved here later in life. So
I've heard that recently that isn't allowed to be.
Yes, it's a reverse. They did a reverse
big cat.
Anyways, I would say maybe third, maybe 2.5. If you want to call it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Love regardless,
to go 2.5.
man.
Hammer the over.
It's just it just feels good.
Yeah, it does.
Feels right.
Is the Broncos championship window open yet? Yeah, everybody always talks about those. And so, in theory, it runs through 2028. Maybe depending on how you structure Bo Nix's contract, it's it runs through 2029. When does it open though?
It's so insane to be having this conversation right now, considering the conversations that we were having before the season about the quality of this team and the roster and the weapons and all of that. But I would say it's open. I
think it is too.
At least it's creaked.
Yeah.
If you win today, it's absolutely open.
It's opened. I don't know that it's open the way we maybe were feeling on the toilet this morning after the last dab. But,
Wow.
That was a tailgate
That was
type
an
joke.
intense visual.
it was.
It was super visual.
It's creeping open. It's creeping open.
It is creeping open.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then coming wide open if they win this round.
The other thing.
Then this isn't even a debate, right?
No, it's wide open if they win today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, then it's as open as.
The championship window has commenced.
Yeah.
Today's our appetizer, our taster, our teaser.
What's kind of crazy is you look at the weapons that the Bills have and you ask yourself how different is that from where the Broncos are? You look at the Chiefs and obviously Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins have the big name power. Those guys are obviously in the back end of their career. Like, it doesn't feel like a lot of these teams are stacked offensively the way you've seen in recent years.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing, so you look at the Bills. Let's just Bills and Broncos. Better defense.
Yeah. Broncos for sure.
Better offensive line.
Broncos. I'll give it to the Broncos.
I think so too.
I think so too.
I think the interior O-line puts the Broncos over the top.
Better skill position players.
It's a
Take
toss.
your pick. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Honestly,
is Cortland
think
Sutton
if
the
you
best
gave-
skill position player in this game?
yes.
Probably has
And
to
I
be.
think if you just swapped places, you would feel way better about the Bills' skill position players than you would. You would feel better about the Broncos skill positions players on the Bills than you would the Bills skill position guys on the Broncos.
Fair.
Yeah. And then I think the final piece, Josh Allen better than Bo Nix. You look at the stats though,
Well,
it's not as big as a gap this year as you would have thought.
it's not as big of a gap statistically, but we haven't seen Bo Nix go superhero mode the way that we can see Josh Allen do it.
Yep.
And he's certainly not feared at the level that Josh Allen is. But, 1 week ago today, we were talking about this on the postgame show, and it's like, how long until Bo Nix enters the feared category? That can start today.
Yep.
Totally.
What you haven't mentioned, and I think the biggest advantage is the coaching staff. I think the Broncos have a nice advantage on that side.
So
of
Well,
this
and then
thing.
even special teams, Broncos got to win that one too, right?
Yeah.
Best special teams in the NFL.
So this is a real test of what football really is.
Yeah.
Is it about your defense and your, the players and the coaching and all that? Or is it just about the quarterback?
Yep.
And honestly, that sounds crazy, but that's really what this game boils down to.
It's a great point.
And the quarterback part is interesting to me as we kind of segue into our next, topic here
Yeah.
on this pregame show presented by Bet365.
It's the best, the GOATs.
Should we explain what the show is going to be?
Hold on.
Okay.
Actually, no, go ahead.
Cool. Yeah, so you might notice that I'm not Todd. That's not Knowshon. Yeah, no, Todd's over there. At least I think that's Todd.
Hyped. Came in with a let's go, which
Yeah,
you
he's
love
very
to see.
excited. He's wearing some cool shirt that I don't understand. And then that's not Jurrell. What's going to happen is we're going to do the first half of the show, and then we're going to have an interview with Steve Atwater, which was sick. And then while that's playing, we're going to swap out, and you guys get the real pregame show afterward.
Right.
Should be
this
a fun
is
little
the pre-game.
I think it would have
remember,
been more fun if we just didn't tell them.
Well, I was thinking we should have done this in character.
That
I'm
wouldn't
like
have-
Todd. You're like Knowshon. You do Jurrell stuff.
I can't be Knowshon.
It would have been funnier if you guys
it
talked
would've
about
been
the pregame show. If you guys previewed the pregame show, what they were going to talk about.
Oh wow.
That's a good one.
We should have had a meeting.
Being Jurrell's a literal dream of mine. Being a
Oh,
dominant defensive lineman,
Yeah.
nothing.
Wow.
I guess dunking. Maybe it's dunking, dominant front seven pass rusher.
I wonder if Jurrell ever dunked. Todd, do you know if Jurrell ever dunked?
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
Without a
Without
doubt.
So you could do
Yeah.
both by just being Jurrell.
Wow.
God, he has it good, man.
I bet Jurrell wants to be you too.
We're
no
have
way.
you guys ever seen like if you
Little
go to a
Italian guy.
comedy show, there's someone who's supposed to just go up there and warm up the crowd. That's what we are.
We are.
We're the opening act.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the fluffers.
I was gonna go there too, but I'm trying to be a professional today.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Look, he's checked every box that was available to him to this point. But guess what? Today he unlocked a new box. And that comes with a lot of pressure because narratives in football and really in all of sports in the NFL are written in the playoffs. And so all of the great things that Bo Nix has done to this point don't really count on a career legacy scale.
Yep.
And now this one does. And most rookie quarterbacks don't get this opportunity in their first year. You know, you go out there, you show some nice things, you falter, maybe you win 8 games or so, and then you're back at it the next year, and it's like, okay, now you're a veteran, now you're more prepared for this moment, whatever. As Bo, he gets thrown in here, and this can go like, the scale can sway all the way one way or the other. It's either like, holy shit, Bo Nix is now in the feared quarterback category. He's trending towards, dethroning some of these older quarterbacks in the conference. Or it could go all the way the other way, which I don't even want to talk, but it's like, oh, Bo Nix playoff choker, blah, blah, blah.
Lamar is Dak Prescott.
So the scale is totally in the balance today, despite all of the great things that Bo Nix has done. And I think from our perspective, we're going to have, a sound take about this after the game that doesn't have to sway the scales all the way the other way. But nationally, everything is in play today. Yeah,
there is such a silly topic right now but I'm going to ignore that and talk about Bo Nix. I think the hope for Bo is, as with any rookie quarterback, especially one who plays well, is that he becomes a Mount Rushmore type, the Hall of Fame type quarterback, and that's kind of you open the box up and anything could be inside. It's fun to think about, kind of fun because we hate both these guys. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, the two guys who've kind of cracked the code. There's all the trends. If a quarterback makes 12.5% of your salary cap, you can't go to the Super Bowl unless it's Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. Like, there's just so many of those little things with those two. Their first opportunities in the playoffs, they both won Super Bowls. Like, you knew immediately that those guys were guys. As much as, did
Mahomes?
Yeah. It was his second year.
Yeah, that sophomore season where he started.
But he
Didn't
took off and
they
they won.
lose to Brady in the AFC Championship game?
I thought that was the next year. Okay, then maybe I'm wrong. Point is,
Either
with
way,
those guys,
went to the AFC
so
Championship
quickly.
game at the least.
Exactly. You know so quickly if those guys are guys. And that isn't true of everybody. Like, you go out there, you have a bad performance, then maybe, you're a rookie, whatever. But there is a lot to learn today, and I don't know, this is a game that every Broncos fan is going to remember forever. Like, this is kind of the beginning of what is the Bo Nix era. It's whatever this is today, and you kind of set the tone here. That's a lot of pressure, and nobody really expects the Broncos to win, at least nationally. It's a massive opportunity, though, because if Bo pulls this off, all of a sudden the hype around the Broncos is going to be insane. Like, through the rest of the playoffs, as long as they make it, but also all offseason. Yeah. Like, all of a sudden, you are the Texans next year.
Yes.
Who are
You're like a sexy Super Bowl pick.
Oh, they got Stephon Diggs and Danielle Hunter.
Yeah.
They're going Super Bowl. Or, the Lions kind of did the same thing. A little bit different, not a rookie quarterback, but this is, like you said, kind of a legacy game.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you position yourself to be the hot young team and have one of the hot young quarterbacks. And what excites me is how Bo has played the last 6 quarters. The second half against the Bengals and obviously being almost perfect against the Chiefs there. I think he is humming. Sean Payton is humming. That whole offense is feeling good. Be interesting to see how the running game can support him, especially with this little personnel change we've had this morning.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
You haven't heard the news?
No.
Well, remember how we both said Audric Estime is the guy we're buying stock in?
Yes.
Doesn't get a uniform. They're going with Tyler Bidet.
Interesting.
Isn't that something?
That is something.
I
like Tyler Bidet, though.
I do, too. I would never in a million years have done this because I think Audric Estime might be your best running back. I think that in a playoff game, you lean on him, and if he's getting you 4 or 5 yards a pop, all of a sudden that's your offense the entire day. And I wonder about that with anything else. I'm really excited about the decision, though, because this falls in the category of Sean Payton has an idea here, and who am I to say that Sean Payton is wrong before the game?
And also,
different story.
The only thing that I don't like about Tyler Bidet is that I'm on the 3rd version of pronouncing his name.
Yeah.
And I feel like we could be in for a 4th today,
Why
Dang.
not? Yeah.
If he has a playoff legacy game, he might come out and be like, it's actually Bay Day.
I felt like a baddie today.
Dang.
We're going Tyler Baddie
But
now.
that's the things you can do when you ball out in the playoffs.
It's true.
Bay Day. Hopefully what the Bills defense is saying by the end of this one.
Well, and to your point about what you could have done with Audric Estime, couldn't the same thing be said about Javonte Williams?
Yeah. I mean, I just would say I haven't seen as much. Oh, there was the one run he had last week. He broke the tackle on the edge, kept going, where it's like, this is kind of what you got him for. Nice to see that. But I think between the tackles, what Audric did against the Chargers, the Chiefs might be the most notable example, that last drive where he's just grinding down the field. I think just the way he plays and some of the things this offensive line is best at, those counters, those powers, I think it just lines up so well. But I also think that maybe Sean isn't trusting guys to make those blocks. They want to go with more of a zone type running system this year. Yeah. Lean on Jaleel, get him stretching, pushing the edge, cutting back inside. Like Bidet is better at that, and that's an area where Audric really hasn't been able to get going.
The chat is screaming at you that SMA is injured and this was not a coach's decision.
I haven't seen that on Twitter. I can tell you, I talked to him just a couple days ago. He was fine.
While you double check on that, I would love to tell our friends about our great presenting sponsor, Bet365, the only place you can use our code DMVR365, the only place you can find our custom bet on the app right now. Boost it up. Bo Nix, 200 plus passing yards. Bo Nix, 20 plus rushing yards. I think quarterback rushing yards are a big key in this game. And I think if Bo takes care of business, that's a great one. And then Javonte Williams, anytime touchdown. That's courtesy of our own TD, Todd Davis. So there you go. Boost it at plus 750 only at Bet365. Our homies, our presenting sponsors of all this great content this weekend. Check out the QR code. Get in on the fun. Use our code DMVR365. And sign up now. Get bet 5 to get 150 in bonus bets when you sign up. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. And if I may, a quick little shout out to our friends at Coors Light who are true lifesavers yesterday, because everyone tells you milk to help with the spiciness of the Hot Ones challenge. I found Coors Light refreshing, Colorado through and through.
Crisp.
Mountains were blue AF.
Cold.
Super
AF.
crisp, super cold. That's what hit the spot.
It's true.
Nothing pairs better with some spicy food than a good Coors Light. Nothing
milk bath.
pairs better with some Broncos football than some good Coors Light. It's really just my go-to more and more. Someone wants to talk, end of the day, let's grab a Coors Light at the bar.
Reliable.
It really is. It really is. Choose chill. And, reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with CoorsLight.com/DMVR, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer, including the DMVR bar today. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Tracy Wolfson said Sean Payton told her that Bidet will be a big part of the game plan. Also,
Did you find anything on the injury?
Nobody has said anything about an injury. So
If you could scroll up just a little bit,
yeah. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
There we go. Son of Jacob said that's the report the Broncos put out. So he's injured.
Maybe he saw like the inactives, but inactive doesn't mean injured.
Okay.
But yeah, nobody has reported an injury, at least in the first 100
That's how I
tweets.
read anytime someone types it all caps.
I think it's important because people lean on the caps a little too often sometimes. Let them know what they're saying.
Yeah, basically read it like Andre doing a Bet365 read of
that's
the
right.
tailgate.
Yes, he's
That's
allowed
exactly
to talk
right.
in caps because he actually does speak in caps.
He does, actually. All right. We already hit that. Okay, you can check out the custom bet right there.
There
Bet
you
boost,
go. Bang.
plus 800.
Bang.
Plus 800, as Dre would say.
I've got we'll talk about that in a second. All right. Andre, this is a quick sidebar. Sidebar.
I have a quick
Okay.
sidebar
You said
too.
something about the Broncos taking care of business. Do you want to know the one song that I listened to this morning before I came over here?
I have a guess.
Taking care of business?
To me, I don't know. Well, I do know why. That is the number one song I associate with the Denver Broncos, because after they won the Super Bowl, one of the Super Bowls in 96 or 97 or 97 or 98, they came out with this like Broncos CD, and it had like some of Dave Logan's like iconic calls on there, and then it also had some songs mixed in. And one of the songs was "Taking Care of Business," and so now that's like my Broncos song. That's how I get in the Broncos zone.
Wow.
Do you
I
have
never
one?
would have thought that was in the rotation.
It's
That's quite the song to have in the rotation.
I think
good song.
I never know the names of the old songs. I think it's the AC/DC song, like Back in Black.
Highway to
maybe?
Hell? Oh, Back in Black?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Thunderstruck?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one they do with the parachuters.
Yeah.
That one I can
That
consider
one's
a Broncos song.
amazing, Hank.
Okay, can we hit my sidebar?
I built Legos this morning. No music.
Do you have a Bronco song?
No.
Do you have a? Oh, you do.
Yeah, I threw
you just
threw
did
that
it.
out there. Yeah. This was in the chat a little bit ago. I can't confirm. Bashkin in the chat says, Garrett Bolles dyed his hair blonde. We are winning this game.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. Do you think he did like that lightning bolt thing that he did that one time?
I never saw that. This is Garrett Bolles with any different hair is new to me.
Yeah, he had like a lightning bolt in the back of his head, I think, at one point.
That's pretty sick.
You know about haircut swag, Ryan.
Uh-huh.
Good or bad going
Great.
blonde?
It's always good. Like, I don't know if you know this, but Zach Stevens is growing out a playoff mustache.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Breaking news?
Yeah, no, not breaking news.
I mean,
Has
old
anyone
thing,
else
old news
noticed?
Podcast.
Huh?
Have others noticed?
Yeah, I mean, he talked about it. Anyways, doing something new for the playoffs is always good. With hair, facial hair, you could grow your fingernails out, you know,
Dang.
those types of things.
I've been doing that with my toenails. I didn't even realize that was a playoff
That's
thing.
probably why they're winning.
Yeah,
that's why they made it.
totally.
Stop
Totally.
putting these visuals in my head.
Full bleach
I don't wanna
for
think
Garrett
about your
Bolles.
feet ever.
Full bleach for Garrett Bolles.
I love
Like
that. for
bright
him. Can I see?
everywhere. Dre, you get to see next.
You should send it
Oh,
to
yeah,
Yaya and
bro. He
everyone
looks-
could see
He
it.
actually looks like a mad scientist.
Yeah, I can send it to you.
Wow, looks like he's wearing a helmet.
Wow. Yeah,
He
kinda
looks
does. I didn't
younger.
realize he had that much hair.
He looks younger. Should I do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should I go full
Yes. You would
platinum?
You would look so young.
Actually,
and shave 8 years off my... Oh, Ryan, why are you thinking about this?
no, I was going to say, like, if the Broncos win, do we all do it?
Oh, my...
But then I started thinking, like, how long does it take to grow out bleach in your hair? Like, I have a wedding coming up.
and then I have to go like, well, so
Right.
the thing is, I would go to practice on Wednesday, and me and Garrett would have the same hair.
Yeah, that'd
Right.
be hilarious.
People
And
would
I'd be like, yeah,
confuse
this is
you.
because of you, which would be
think-
kind of an
A
awkward.
I think we're
scrum
doing that
would
thing
just
we
start
do.
around you because they thought you were GB.
Me and Garrett, we so they were watching the CFP games last week in the locker
Hell
room,
yeah,
or it would have been
hell
the
yeah.
week before. We were talking a little bit about some play calling. Smart
All right.
guy. Wait,
Locking back in.
can we lock in this way?
Maybe.
This has to be wide zone play action off it, right? Like that's what this offense is. Like if you're going bidet, if the whole thing is like you're trying to attack those edges, it's then the bootleg back the other way, and that's how you're building this offense, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sure.
So okay, we know the plan.
This is Sean Payton, like, real shot caller if Tyler Bidet is the first running back out there.
That'd be crazy. Also, does Javante become more of your power back and Bidet more of your all down option?
Yeah, what time does this show end? 10:20. Okay.
7 minutes.
That's hard to do math, you know? Because it's like 30 minutes, but we didn't start on the hour.
Bless John Elway and number 7.
Right. Okay. I want to ask you guys this.
Yeah.
The Broncos win if blank.
I knew this question was coming.
It's because it's on the sidebar.
They win the big plays and they have fewer negative plays, which I know sounds really basic, but it's kind of
We tweeted this
plain and
out
simple.
earlier this week. You know who responded?
Jake Plummer.
Jake Plummer
Hell
responded
yeah.
to our tweet.
Hell
Guess what
yeah.
he said?
If they eat a bananas before the
Yeah.
show.
Wow.
Before
He
the
said
game.
if they score more points
got
than the
the
Bills.
bananas. Oh man,
Yeah.
That's a good
yeah,
one.
that is a key
And
to
I
the
think
game.
he might be onto something
Definitely.
there.
Was he
Definitely.
hating?
No.
No.
I think he loves that joke and he found an opportunity to use it.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
I hate that joke.
Well, it's literally shitting on this segment precisely.
And I love this segment. And I love this question. And I love asking it to coaches and players.
Yeah. I'll go turnovers.
They win the turnover battle. They win the game. Plain and simple.
I mean, Bills have the best turnover differential since the 2012 Patriots.
I bet they won a Super Bowl.
Lost to the Giants.
Okay.
Yes, lost to the
that
Giants.
one.
Eli forever, yeah.
Because that's the thing. You
Archie forever.
eventually play good teams that also force turnovers, who also, and I think that turnover differential, you always want to win it, but I'm not sure it's super indicative of future turnover differential in the playoffs.
Okay.
That's just a vibes thing, though. I think Broncos
more
win, they get it.
granular Quinn Meinert's kicks at Oliver's ass.
Okay.
Okay. I like that.
Mine
Great
is
matchup.
incredibly subjective.
Hell yeah.
So only I can be the judge of if it happened or not.
Let's go.
Wow, I have a feeling you'll be right.
I'm going to no, it's not like that. I'm going to say the Broncos beat the Bills if Josh Allen has less than 3 Superman plays.
Oh.
So if you want to like just text me during the game, like, hey, was that a Superman play?
Okay.
Like, does that count?
Are you leaving?
No, I'll just be downstairs with the people.
Oh.
It's how
Big
I roll.
people
Are you going to be
guy.
down there?
I'm partially doing this watch along with Dre.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
he'll rotate.
We'll be around.
so maybe when I come on the watch along, like halftime or something,
Or we pause at halftime.
whatever. You can ask me like, hey, what are we at on the Superman count?
Oh, okay. Okay.
And we can just keep an eye on it.
Could you text us updates?
Or if you just wanna
and
run
we'll
upstairs and say,
tell
"Hey,
people
Superman."
on the watch along?
No, because I'm going to be hanging out with the people.
Which
so
people in particular?
But
Who are
you
these
can't,
people you're so
you
excited
can't
about?
text your people?
I'll forget, just being honest.
Could I text you reminders?
You can text me asking, yes.
Okay.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
3 or less, less than 3. 3 is the swing point, so 2.5 is the number. If he has just 2 Superman plays, Broncos win. 3 or more, cooked.
Is
This-
it net Superman plays? So like, could Bo?
Right,
if
those
has a
Bo
Superman-
need to
no?
match
Okay.
Superman
Simply
plays.
just Josh Allen.
Yep. But it was good. That's a really good question.
Does Nik Bonitto or PS2 get, like, could their Superman plays out?
No Superman plays.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
the only ones that matter are Josh Allen.
Unrelated to your
Is
prediction.
there a Lex Luthor in this?
We're short on time here. boys.
Okay, unrelated to your prediction, if, for example, Nik Bonitto has a Superman play, can we just ask you if that was a Superman play?
Yes.
Mind you,
Okay.
As the keeper of the Superman
I'd
scorebook.
love to talk ball right now. I just can't help but go down these nonsensical.
I know. Well, see, it's things like when Claus pops up in the chat, my mind just all of a
Shout
sudden
out to
is
him
like,
in Germany.
it just brings me back to yesterday. Shout out
Could
to
I-
all the Germans who watched yesterday.
No doubt.
Germany
no doubt.
was in the chat.
Hell yeah.
Germany-
You guys rule.
All right.
We know what they like now.
Can I give out a pick?
My sister
Yes.
lives in Germany.
I have several to give out, so
Nate Atkins, 20 plus receiving yards.
love that for us.
Yeah. Low key to the game here is Big Nate coming through
All right,
for
I'm
us.
just gonna read you through my bet slip of
Okay.
the bets that I have.
Amazing. Thank
Over
you,
at
Bet365. Yeah.
where things are never ordinary. And let me tell you,
God.
this pick is far from ordinary.
Oh, give it to me.
Okay.
I'm
This
excited.
is a same game parlay.
Oh, boy.
Do you remember what I said my prediction for the game was?
Nope.
I said that I predict it will go to overtime.
Oh, that's right.
The Broncos will win on a walk-off field goal.
27-24.
I'm adding in another leg. So this is technically a 3-leg parlay. It's tie at the end of the first half, tie at the end of the second half. Broncos money line.
Okay.
That is plus 16,000.
Whoa.
So if my prediction comes true, that's 10 for $1,600.
That's pretty good.
Holy cow. I love that. Okay.
No one loves that. It's a ridiculous pick. Next one.
I would have rather tie and then Broncos money line, but yeah.
I threw in another. This one is more realistic, but still a great payout. Bo Nix over 50 rushing yards. Bo Nix over 275 passing yards.
Yes.
Bo Nix 2 passing touchdowns. That's plus 2,500.
Let's go. In on that.
I've got Bo Nix anytime touchdown score plus 380.
Okay.
Whoa. Love
He's
it.
gonna run one in. I famously bought stock in Troy Franklin this week.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And so I have a Troy Franklin anytime touchdown score plus 650.
Let's go.
And last one I have here, this is just a multi-game parlay. It's a Jalen Hurts touchdown, a Saquon Barkley touchdown, a Josh Allen touchdown, and a Bo Nix touchdown. That one is
Beautiful.
plus 3,500.
Wow.
I also made a crazy one. Odds might have moved a little bit in the past couple days. Zach Allen sack, Nik Bonitto sack, Jonathan Cooper sack, John Franklin Myers sack. Broncos win, plus 21,600.
Oh my God. I would call that the Brady game.
How many sacks is that?
Part 2.
Well, 4 players, but remember
Okay.
a half sack is enough. And I don't think anybody's bringing
snap.
down Josh Allen on their own.
Great.
You got
Well, the
anything else?
Broncos average 3.75 sacks per game. The
Yep.
Bills give up 0.85
Yep.
sacks per game. So I think that's like the closer you are to that 3.75, the closer you are to winning. So
Yep.
I love that from a Broncos standpoint.
I love it.
I think we did an incredible job. I think this is the first time I've ever hosted a pregame show, not like the one that we do on the Buffs, which is totally different.
Yeah.
And I feel like we did a good job.
I
We
do
stayed
too.
on task. We gave out some good takes, some
I
good
do too.
information, some bets. I think we did everything we were supposed to, sponsor-wise. Shout out Bet365.
That's right. Shout out to those guys. And
now-
shout out to Steve Atwater, a true legend.
Everything's fluffed up for the next crew.
It is fun. You know what? Here's what we screwed up. What we should have said.
No, we don't have time for this.
transition. That was the transition. Love
right.
you guys.
Right now, we're going to run an interview that we did at the end of the week with our guy, Steve Atwater. When that wraps up, you will see Todd Davis, Knowshon Moreno, and Jurrell Casey.
Let's go.
All right, now it's time to bring in a special guest, the one and only, the greatest safety of all times, the hardest hitting safety of all times, however you want to put it, my man, the Hall of Famer, Steve Atwater. What's up, Steve? How you doing?
Hey, not much, Todd. Hey, it's a great introduction, man. Had some great safety that I've played over the years, man, and I'm honored to be considered among one of the best. I'm not the best, but I'm one of the best.
Well, you're the best in our book. You're the best in our book.
Yeah, I agree.
Appreciate it.
You've been on a lot of teams, really good teams, some underdog teams. The Broncos this week, they're underdogs against the Buffalo Bills. As underdogs, what do they do in this game to kind of gain momentum and try to get a win?
Well, I would say had the same mentality that they've had throughout the season. Just lay it on the line and knowing that this is one game, you win or go home. And, no use to being afraid to make plays, man. This is the time to step up and just execute, And I know everybody on the team knows that they can do it. They've done it against some really good teams this year. Now they got to do it under an immense amount of pressure.
Steve, there were some before the season. There were some national outlets that said the Broncos were like the least talented team in the NFL, expected them to finish with like the number
5
one
games.
pick in the draft. A lot of L's thrown out there. Well, why were they so wrong? Like, what were the Broncos able to do to overcome all of these long odds and now like have a shot to make a run in the playoffs?
Yeah, I just think that a lot of the people who were making those predictions didn't understand that, hey, we got a young team and stars emerge from everywhere. At the beginning of the season, you don't know who's going to have a great season. I mean, some of the more established guys, they're probably going to have great seasons. But, when you got new guys in the league, guys who have had nice seasons the year before, you don't know how big of a season they're going to have. And some guys have really jumped off the screen. Nik Bonitto, playing great football. He and Jay Coop on both ends of the D-line. Audric Estime coming in, contributed. Marvin Mims making a jump. Just got so many players who have stepped up. And, obviously Bo Nix, who stepped up, and many people just they hadn't seen it at this level. And so these guys are making a name for themselves, making a name for this team. And I'm super proud of them and hoping that they can go into Buffalo and take care of business.
I think when you go up to Buffalo for a playoff game and it's going to be, in the 20s, I think somebody on this Broncos defense needs to set the tone early. Like, you need somebody to go out there and make a hit. And I'm curious who you think could be the guy who could go up there and make that hit.
Oh, man, who would be that guy? Man, would it be, Brandon Jones or PJ Locke or Nick? Probably Nik Bonitto, man. Nik Bonitto's just been doing everything, man. He's an amazing player. He's had an amazing year, and he just keeps making play after play after play. So I'll probably say Nik Bonitto.
Okay.
Set the tone, man, right from the start.
I love that.
Yes.
Steve, you played in a lot of playoff games in your career, and you've been a favorite. You've been an underdog. You've been at home. You've been on the road. I think you even played at Buffalo in a playoff game. What is the challenge of going on the road as an underdog in the playoffs, and what is the kind of the key to overcoming that?
Well, I would say that you can't look at it like, hey, you're the underdog. You got to look at it like, hey, we're gonna go in there. We're about to take these boys out. They don't know what's coming. And you just got to have a certain level of confidence. I don't think you got to be cocky, but you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your teammates, and know that you guys have been putting in the work all year long. And on any given Sunday, anything can happen. I truly believe that. You've seen some of the craziest things in the world happen, and if we go up there and pull off this upset, there's going to be a lot of bettors out there that are going to be upset. A lot of doubters who will be quieted. But like you got on the deal, I believe that anything can happen.
There you go.
Let's go.
Steve, do you bet? You putting some money on this game?
Come on, man. You know, as an employee, I can bet. I never betted much anyway. You know, I had enough from when I played. I went to Vegas one time, and you know, I was just gambling some blackjack or something. I lost like $1,800. I'm like, nah, I'm done with it. And, you know, and I know people I've had friends who sat down and lost 25 grand in one sitting, and I'm like, no, I'm never going to get to that point. So that was so long ago, man. I haven't gambled probably in 25 years, man.
Yeah, I don't gamble either. Small increments for me. You know how it is. We work too hard to just lose it in one night, you know, trying to have some fun.
Right.
So, you know, the Broncos, Sean Payton, historically known for taking chances to win big games. I know you're not a betting man, but what would you say the odds are for him to, like, take a chance, fake punt, do something crazy just to try and get a win this game?
Well, it's kind of a cool position to be in because, I mean, nobody's expecting you to win. So, I mean, I'm expecting you to win, but you know, a lot of people out there aren't expecting to win. So you can pretty much, you know, go out there and take some chances. And you know, I think the one thing that's going to be key for us is that we get that run game going. Some of the games this year we haven't been able to really get it going and haven't stuck with it, but it's going to be vital that, you know, we keep that Buffalo Bills offense on the sidelines as much as possible, and we got to put some points on the board. But yeah, Sean, he's going to do whatever it takes to win, and you know, I have a lot of confidence in him, man. He's such a smart man. I love how he, you know, talks to the media and spends so much time, you know, answering every single question, and you know, that just shows that he's passionate about what he does, and he's all in, man. So I know the team's going to be ready, and hopefully they'll give it their best shot.
Steve, you're giving some love to Sean. We got to give some love to you because you are like just the nicest guy in the world. You've given all of us the time, you know, from when we just were new reporters or maybe Todd just joining the team. And we can't tell you how much that means to us. And speaking of you, Steve, you're the perfect person to talk about Von Miller playing the Broncos this week because Von Miller, future Hall of Fame player that's playing his former team where he spent most of his time. There was a safety with the New York Jets after spending a decade with the Broncos as a Hall of Famer that played the Broncos his first year outside of being a Bronco. What was that like, Steve? And how do you think Von is going to be able to handle this with all the emotions, especially with just how much he still loves the Broncos?
Yeah, Von obviously loves the Broncos. You see the different stuff that he posts online and that. But I don't know if he's as, emotional as I was, man. Because I got here, and we played the Broncos here. And, you know, I just remember before the game, I'm used to being on the Broncos sideline looking up to the right because the flag was in the south end zone. And now I'm on the other side of the field. I'm looking to the left. And I'm looking at all my boys over there on the other side of the field. Man, I got tears just, you know, coming down my face before the game. And but once the game started, I'm like, yeah, later for that. I gotta go out here and handle business. I gotta show these boys I can still play.
Yeah.
And I think Von will have a lot of that, you know, especially, you know, he's getting up there a little bit in age with his career, but he's had a wonderful career, still playing well. And, you know, everybody here in Broncos country is always rooting for him. We don't want him to get the win, but we want him to, you know, to do well.
For sure.
Wow. Do you think Bo Nix is ready for this game?
I do. He's young. He's obviously a rookie, but, you know, we've seen kind of some ebbs and flows throughout the season, but I think each low is a little bit higher each time, you know. I think he's been steadily getting better and better, and you know, the guys believe in him. You saw the connection that he and Cortland Sutton have now. I love that he feels like he has a receiver in Cortland that he can go to in all types of situations because Cortland's been double covered, and you know, he's throwing it to him, and Cortland's made the catch. So I think Bo's going to go out there and do a nice job. And, looking forward to watching them do their thing.
Speaking of Von, we talked to him earlier this week, and he talked about how when his playing career is over, he wants to come back and live in Denver. And I think it's one of the most special things about the Broncos. How many guys want to come back and live here? You got Todd, you got Peyton Manning, you got you. I'm curious, you were born in Chicago, I think, grew up in St. Louis, played football at Arkansas, and yet after all was said and done, you wanted to make Denver your home. And I'm curious, what led you to that?
Well, you meet so many people while you play, and I was here for 10 years, and we moved away for a while. Though I lived in Atlanta for 12 years, lived in the DC area for about 5 years, and we moved back here because this is where we wanted to be. After all my kids finished up with college and school and everything, and we also asked them, got some feedback from our kids. Where do you guys want to be? And they all said Colorado as well. Not only 2 of them live here now, but they flip flop a little bit. But yeah, Denver just a great place to be. And I've had some great memories here. I have some great friends here. The weather, although everybody thinks, a lot of people on the outside thinks it's freezing cold, the weather is beautiful throughout the year. Just a great place, man. And I love the people here.
Well, Steve, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us. Much love to you and the family, and I can't wait to be there for your charity event again. So much love, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate your time. And the wife told me to tell you hello. I told her to talk to her a little bit before I got on here. She said, "Hey, make sure you tell Todd hello."
Well, tell her I said hi.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, man, y'all doing a great job. I appreciate you so much, and keep up the great work.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome back in to the DNVR Broncos pregame show presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and place a bet of $5 to get $200 in bonus bets and a code for the first 2 months of Out2 Plus, courtesy of Bet365. You must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome back.
What it do?
I know that
Broncos country.
the set looks a little bit different, but we're going to try to hold it down as well as, Hank, RK, and Dre did. So I'm Todd Davis, got my boy Jurrell Casey and Knowshon Moreno. We're here to break down this Broncos versus Bills game. I think it's going to be a great game. I think the Broncos and the Bills match up very well on paper. Ultimately, it's 2 teams with 2 completely different records. One is Super Bowl or bust. The other one is we're happy to be here and hope we get a win. But ultimately, I think it'll be a good game.
I think people sleep. I think people sleep on this Broncos team. I think they got a great opportunity here. This is a team who has a decent offense, the Bills, and you have a great defense in the Broncos. You have a decent offense with the Broncos, and you have an average defense with the Bills.
Yep.
I think this is this right here is going to be a very balanced game where, it's going to be a shootout and it's going to come down to what defense want to be a championship contender. Yeah. And that's what it's going to come down to. And I think Bo come out, play poised offense. They attack the middle of the field the way they're supposed to, and we can get a little bit from that run game. I think we have a great opportunity here.
Yeah, man. I'm with y'all on that, man. Like you said, playoff atmosphere. We're in the playoffs, right?
We're here.
All you can ask for is to get in. Once you get in, it don't matter what your regular season record was. It don't matter what you did in the past. It's what you can do that day.
Yep.
Who's the best team that day, right? And yeah, I agree with both of y'all, man. You look at this Broncos team, and we definitely got a shot. I love that we're the underdog. I love underdogs. Yeah. We're not expected to win, right? All that pressure is on the Bills. So I can't wait to see what these guys can go out there and do today.
Yes, it's like a freeing feeling to be able to know that we're not expected to win, but yet we believe in ourselves, and whatever happens, it happens.
Yep.
So that's why I'm excited to see trick plays from Sean Payton, whether it be on special teams or whether it be on offense. Like, who cares what happens? You're way ahead of schedule. You know that you have the quarterback of the future. Leave it all on the field.
And we've seen that before with Sean. I mean, his first the first year that he gets hired, he comes out with the onside kick.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So you've seen it before. I know the onside rule is different now, but Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Whatever the case may be, trick plays, man, we want to see it from the special teams. Don't leave no plays in the bag, you know what I'm saying? Use all the plays that you got, all the ones you've been working on all year that all these teams haven't seen yet, and go out there and compete, man. I think we have a really good chance.
That's another aspect I would like to see dominate this game, and that's what's going to really put us over the edge is the special teams. Mims has been special over there in their return games.
Yeah.
If we can get him going and he's rolling the way he's been and stay consistent, that's going to be a big factor for our offense, you know, and that's going to set us up very well and help us in that aspect. And then we need one of those punt games where we pinning them down there, help the defense type situation, where we had those games where we got guys jumping in the end zone, keep batting the ball out multiple times out of the game, right? And trying to pin them down there in the deep in the backed up in their own zone. Right. If we get that type of game out of our special team this week, I think we'll be in a great position. And I think overall play, what we have been missing, we have had where we had good defense, okay offense. Special team shows up here and there. Yeah. No special teams, great offense, no defense. If we can get all them playing great playoff football, every phase clicking, every phase going, I don't see why it is not a game where we blow them out the way we're supposed to.
I completely agree. I think this is a huge field position game. Like, if we can make the Bills go 90, 85 yards every single drive, but at the same time we were able to get the ball in plus territory or at least at the 40 or the 35, it'll be a huge advantage for the Denver Broncos, and that starts with special teams. Getting down there, like you say, making, great kicks to pin them at the 5-yard line or the 10-yard line. And then Marvin Mims being able to put together some great returns. He is a Pro Bowl returner, an all-pro returner. There's only 2 of them in the league. So we need him to play like he's the man today. So I think it's going to be good for him. But ultimately, the number one player that we need to have a good game today is Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix has to come out and play well. Not like added pressure on him, but we do need you to have a game today. Like if the Broncos are going to be successful, it's going to be because of Bo Nix, because we haven't had the run game that we have won it all year. Even Audric Estime is out this week. Tyler Bidet has been subbed in, and now he's active. But ultimately, I think this team's going to go as Bo goes and just protect the football. You don't have to be, special, but just find a way to get some plays, string some plays together, and get down the field.
Yeah, and that's what's going to come down to, like you said, putting those plays together like he did in the past, Sean Payton, putting Bo in the right positions. You know what I mean? Maybe getting him rolling out a little bit, use his legs a little bit, get those jitters out, short plays, short passes, let guys make plays. And you mentioned it and you picked on it a little bit, is the turnovers, right? You've done a great job this whole year not turning the ball over, right? Doing the same thing today. And if you got to run with your legs, do it with your legs. You know what I mean? You can say what you want about Bo throughout the whole year, but we're here now, and everyone has that opportunity. So I'm excited to go out and see what he can go out there and do. He's been in these kind of big games before. He's been in playoff games before, right? And we're ahead of schedule. So
for sure.
Don't leave anything in the tank. You know what I mean? Go out there and just play this whole game, take care of that ball, and we'll see where we are at the end of the day.
What kind of message do that send to the other team and your team that we bench Estime right before the playoff game? And he's been one of the biggest running backs that we done had this whole year, who's been getting a lot of the carries and, getting a lot of the totes. What kind of message that really send the other team and your team, I wonder, right?
I think it's like 2 things. One, we got something that we're planning to do that you're not ready for.
Yeah.
Bidet has been injured. There was a point in time where it looked like he was going to be the starting running back for the Denver Broncos. The very next game that he gets to start, he gets injured and he's out for, the rest of the season. First game into the playoffs, we bring him back. He's healthy. That makes me think, all right, Bidet, it's time to have a game, because if you're not healthy, if you're not a big contributor to this game, we just leave Estime in, because we know how many times we've been giving him the rock, downhill power running back. I'm very interested in the game plan to see how we use Bidet, because he wasn't a big part of our offense the last couple of weeks because he's been injured.
Right, and we haven't seen him in all these weeks, but that's also a good thing. The other team hasn't seen him in a long time either. He's a little bit fresh. He's healthy now, right? I think Mike Kliss reported that they wanted a little bit change of pace back there at the running back position. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see what that different change of pace can look like today in this game. We're going to need all the backs. I mean, I don't care if it's Mims, or if it's Jaleel. You know what I mean? Whatever. We're going to need every single back. I know we always talk about, there's no run game, but there's been plenty of games where there. Hey, all right. My daughter's calling me. That we've averaged, 5 yards per carry, 10 yards per carry, 7. You know what I mean? We've been in a good range. Yeah, we would like to see it happen more as a fan, definitely. Right? We would like to, keep on running. It's going so well. But if we could stay like that today and get 5 yards per carry, no matter who the back is, I think we'll be in good shape.
And that's why I asked that question, because I remember last week you saying that it's not our run game that haven't been working. It's the fact that we don't use the run game much. And I was wondering what kind of message that really kind of send our offense, we're not going to worry about the run, I guess, this week, huh? Or do we say all right, we're going to be specialized and we're going to use Bidet now and go in there and run the ball a ton this week? So, because it's playoff football, it's we got to put a run game together. For playoff football, you got to be able to run the game.
For sure.
We saw that in other games with Baltimore, right? That game looked so much different when you put a run game together. And with Derrick Henry out there running the way he was running, they often just looked that much better, and they did it all season long. So I wonder if that's going to be the message that you try to go out there and try to get that going.
That's just not us, though. That's just not us. I mean, you could put 3 of our running backs together. It's not a Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that. But at the end of the day, just stay in positive yardage. Just stay in positive down the distance. Don't get behind the 6. And I think that's how they look at it, Jurrell. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't have a Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? And even if we did, I feel like that's just not what Sean's game plan is. You know what I mean? When it comes to his play calling. Yeah. It's just not who it is. So we'll see a lot of backs tonight.
But I do think there's something there, because this is not a decision the Broncos made last night or this morning. This has been in the works.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Since Monday. They've known that Bidet is going to be in, Estime is going to be out, and we're going to structure the game plan accordingly. So I hope that they've, talk to the offensive line about what this means and how this is going to create more opportunity for our offense and how we're going to be able to utilize him to actually run the ball a little bit more, and that no one is surprised if we do go out and, tote the rock, 15 times in the first quarter or the first half. So hopefully it means something big for the Broncos. Because as the underdog team, we got to pull from more than just what we've done in the past. I mean, they're the number 2 seed, and some people think they should have been or could have been the number 1 seed. For one game here. Yeah. They've already beat the Ravens. They've already beat the Chiefs. They are a really good football team.
Definitely.
So we got to do a little bit more than just what we've done in the regular season to get us here to the playoffs.
Definitely. And then that's got to be that run game, because I think we've done a pretty good job in the screen game. We've done a pretty decent job in tackling downfield. We have done a good job of attacking in the midfield. We just got to be able to get that run game going. And if we get that run game going, that's really the different dynamic to it. That's really the different dynamic to the game.
No Bolieve in the run game.
I think there's a game when we get there.
Why though? Why when we? Because we've had so much success.
I don't think Buffalo's defense is that.
But we've said that about the Raiders. We said that about all these other teams we played.
Yeah.
You think they won't
we said
call
about
a
the Chargers
playoff game like this?
Well, why change what's been working is more so the case. It's
or how to change what's not been working.
Right. It's just don't do it. It's just do what we've been doing. Do what we've been doing. We don't use our tight ends much, right?
I wonder. Why start using them, right?
Why do it now, right? Just do what's working. If the tight end's working that day, use the tight ends. If the screen's working the Mims and these guys getting them on the outside, do that. At the end of the day, that's what's going to come down. I think at the end of the day, defense needs to play well, right? I see this Bills team kind of taking the game plan of the Bengals, where it's these short out routes, you know what I mean? Keeping the defense out there on the field, and just converting third downs, right? So if this defense, our defense, can get them off the field, at the end of the day, that's what's gonna, come down to being the best, right? So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that run game is not gonna be where
I've been hoping for it for so long.
I'm not even hoping no more.
Playoffs come down to smash mouth football. Yeah. Who can tote the rock the most? And I just see that's really what's gonna pop off today. And I don't see why you make a running back change this late in the season.
But if someone's gonna give you a spark,
to not end up doing it, you feel me?
I'll do it if someone's gonna give me a spark.
You feel me?
But if he's gonna give us a spark, then we're gonna utilize it.
We got to utilize it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's important. I think running the ball in the playoffs is important, and we need to run the ball, but we also have to stop the running game. And they have a really talented back over there. James Cook had over 1,000 yards, almost averaged 5 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns. The Broncos defense is good at stopping the run, but when we watch some of these games in the past, if a team commits to running the ball,
it gets a little shaky.
You know what I'm saying? It gets a little bit shaky, a little bit rocky. So I think this is like, for me, this is the most important piece of the game. Like, if we can stop the run, I think the Bills have, on average, ran the ball this year more than they've thrown the ball. So it's important to be able to stop the running game, because if that gets going, you know, their entire playbook is open to them, and then we really can't do anything to stop the run, the play action, the pass. You got to stop the run to start the game.
I'm with Rodney Garcia. Like he's saying, that slot corner, he gonna be big. PJ, that safety, stepping into the box, he gonna be big, man. We're gonna need these guys playing big man football and stepping into that run box and really helping us out along the way with us doing a lot of slants, doing a lot of blitz, doing a lot of pressures. We have a lot of weak spots when you're running the ball to the pressure, or you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna need those safeties coming up big and really making open field tackles and not letting these guys make a miss and really committing to the run game. And that's where I think we will really step up. When these guys really commit to the run, I think that's where we make a difference. Because our D-line going to slant. They're going to do that. That's what they do. And now if they come free or not, that's what's going to happen. They make some great plays. But where the linebackers and those safeties and corners step up and fill in those voids is where this makes a big difference in the run game.
And to your point, like, the slanting and the movement works really well.
Very well.
When you slant to the side that they're running. But if they're running left and you're slanting right, shoot.
Boy, so it just depends. You need those backsides and fillers to fill in very well. So this is where, you know, those DBs got to show up where they've been doing a good job all year long. It ain't like they haven't done a good job not tackling or whatnot, but they've been doing a good job. So we need to step up big this week and really be there, because James Cook is a shifty back. He runs hard, and he's a guy who can get downfield and get going.
Yep. Well, you look at the corners, and I look at it a little bit differently. I look at the linebackers, man. You said it, right? Filling those gaps the correct way. No more jumping around blocks, right? Taking on the blocks, coming downhill, making it crowded in there, right? So then everyone can swarm to the ball and make the tackle. At the end of the day, that's what you need. We all know that the pace of the game is about to ramp way back up, right?
You already know that.
It's the playoffs now, right? So everyone's gonna be flying around. So definitely going to have my eyes on the linebackers to see how they're filling gaps, see how they're scraping over the top to make these big tackles on these running backs, like you said, James Cook. When I think about runners, right, you talked about Bills running more than they've passed in this season, right? And I look at multiple things. I look at, yes, of course, James Cook, but you look at Josh Allen, right? You know what I mean? He's going to do it with his legs if he has to as well, right? So that means getting to him, taking him down when you get to him. We talked about this plenty of times with different quarterbacks, right? So, taking him down. I even like Ray Davis over there, Kentucky boy. He's been running the ball well as well, right? So, at the end of the day, you got to stop the run. You got to stop these short passes, get them off the field, right? Try to keep them off the field as much as possible, and then we got to take advantage of it on offense.
They have to. And, you bring up a good point. Josh Allen's going to be able to make some plays with his legs. You have to do the best that you can to kind of keep him in the pocket, corral him, and not allow him to drag 3 or 4 defenders down the field for 7 or 8 yards.
Well, let me ask y'all.
Go ahead.
I mean, I know that's the thought process, right? Like, keep him inside the pocket. But at the same time, I mean, do you want to see him in the pocket? I feel like if he's in the pocket, he can shred you. More so if he gets out, okay, it's more of a scramble kind of atmosphere. You can get to him. He's only probably looking at one receiver. I don't know.
For me, I look at their wide receivers and I look at our DBs, and I say our DBs win every matchup. I don't think they have a receiver over there that's better than
one of
Pat
our DBs
Surtain or Riley Moss. Or even you think about Dalton Kincaid. Like, our defense has been the best against tight ends in coverage this year. So I would even put Dalton Kincaid against Brandon Jones and feel comfortable about that matchup. Now, when the play breaks down and they have to create another route and Josh Allen is scrambling, like, it's so hard to cover somebody at that point because they're not just running a 7 route. They can do whatever they want to do at that point to try and get the football, and they need about 7 inches of separation, and Josh Allen's going to fit that ball in.
And that's why I had this question when I was thinking this week, and I was like, man, they always been talking about the Bills have this great offensive line, and they haven't given up this many sacks and whatnot. But we ain't talking about how many rushing yards Josh Allen have also. And these is not designed rushes. This is him doing what Bo does also.
And
scramble
plays.
around in the backfield, break the pocket, and you take off downfield, right? Our guys can rush and they finish. If we want to keep him in the pocket, because Josh Allen, he can sit there and pick you apart, but like he's saying, the matchup is there.
Yeah.
Now, when you got to sit there and hold it, now it's time for us to finish. That's where we make a difference in this game. If our guys can finish and not let him run for 100, 200 yards in this game, boy.
Well, would y'all be upset with the same game plan they had with the Bengals? I know it was a lot of talk about how it was the defense's fault for that last game, but you got to think they got to Joe Burrow 7 times.
They did.
Keeping him in the pocket, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, would you be upset with that same game? I mean, if you can just get to him that many times?
I think that the reason why Joe Burrow was able to create some of the plays that he was because we played a lot of zone behind our pressure. So although our pressure was getting home, if the zone was empty for 2 seconds, he'd find that and then he'd get 5 or 7 yards. With this team, let's go man pressures. They don't have a good wide receiver. We can't go man all day against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Gesicki. That's going to be tougher. But against Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, man it up. Line it up. That way, if we do get home or are close to getting home, we got a body on the body. So if he makes a throw, it's a contested catch or it's a PBU.
They say Josh is the best in the league at, completing passes during pressure, right? But
he is good at it. But we're the best at getting to the quarterback, and we also are maybe the highest pressure rate in the league. We talked about it. You talked about it in the offense. Do what you did that was successful all year long. Don't try to recreate something. Like getting after the quarterback, sending pressure, that's what we do. And playing man coverage, that's what we do. I just want to see us do more of it.
And we're going to need to win with 4 as well, Jurrell.
For sure.
We're going to have to get home with 4 sometimes.
Definitely got to get home before. And that's the part where I think we're able to do that.
Okay.
We have gotten a lot of sacks where we're just 4-man rush.
Yeah.
We have a lot of our sacks haven't even come off of the pressures.
Yeah.
They all have been coming from 4-man rush. And it goes from Zach Allen to Bonitto to Cooper to Myers to Jones. You got all those guys that can actually rush up front and actually get home at any moment. And it's not just one of them getting home. They also got guys combining for multiple share sacks.
Yep.
So these are guys who can actually get home with no problem. And the fact is now where do this contain rush play part in this game, right? We cannot have those games where we allow runners to split our defense down the middle. Guys getting pinned inside, and you got an open lane to the right, to the left, wherever his rollout ways are, right? So once we get those guys to make sure we just contain rush, I think that's the biggest part of the game. 4-man contain rush, get home.
And I think this is you can tell me if I'm wrong, Jurrell, but I feel like this is the game where your front 4, you get one move.
One move.
If your initial move don't work, all right, your mind got to think contain.
Clash in the pocket, contain rush.
Exactly.
Exactly what it is. That's how they normally teach you at this time. It's like, hey, you hit that move, you ain't getting there. Now close pocket, get your hands up. Yeah. Close pocket, get your hands up, right? But it's gonna really come down to getting after it. Who's gonna play lockdown in the back end, and then up front beating these guys' tail, and like I said, collapsing the pocket, playing contain rush. And that's where you win this game at. It's not like Josh Allen wins the games by scrambling in the backfield, getting out the pocket. Keep him in the pocket, and we win this game.
I agree.
I see you, Monmouth County, Peter. I see you.
What's that?
Monmouth County, Jersey, baby.
Uh-oh. Jersey in the building. Before we head out of here, I got to give a shout out to our friends at Bet365 and our pregame picks. Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. Again, you can download the Bet365 app and use code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and place a bet of $5 to get $200 in bonus bets and a code to get the first 2 months out 2+ courtesy of Bet365. Again, you must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, these are some pregame picks we put together, and I think this is going to hit. You got to put this parlay together. Javonte, anytime touchdown, plus 275. Rush yards, Bo Nix, 25 or more, is minus 110, and then also the spread. Plus 7.5 is negative 110. Do you have the ultimate odds for when you put that together as a parlay? Okay. Plus 1,300. Still a good win for everybody. The game's about to start. We're 5 minutes away from the Broncos going on and beating the Bills.
No game changers? What y'all feeling like? I mean, we need a big game from Sut. Let's go, Sut.
Yeah.
Hey, definitely.
Yes.
Court got to go get it.
Yo, let's go get it.
He got to go get it today.
Who else? Bonitto?
Bonitto.
Bonitto got to show up big time.
Yeah.
Zach Allen.
Okay.
Your playmakers have to make plays in the playoffs.
Right.
Patrick.
Right.
I need Patrick doing full lockdown.
He has to.
Moss got to step
They don't go on
up.
his side.
Moss had some shaky the last 2 weeks. We need him out of that injury funk and get him to the grind.
Yeah.
So we get him rolling, we back rolling.
Brandon Jones, I see
That's
that.
it. That's it.
I think all our role players need to
Gotta
do
play their
exactly
role.
what they did
Okay.
in the regular season.
Yep.
All our stars, we need you to take it up a notch.
Yep.
You got to be a little bit better than you were in the regular season. You talk about Pat, you talk about Riley, you talk about Cortland Sutton.
I think
Garrett
about
Bolles
Sutton
has
off
to
the
hold
rip.
it down on the front. I think it's
I
important.
need to see PJ. I need to see PJ today.
Big game from PJ?
I need a lot from PJ today.
All right. Before you
I'm
guys
tight
head
and
out,
hyped.
give us your game changes in the chat. The game's starting, man, so you don't want to miss it. We'll see you guys after the game.
Lock in,
Also,
let's get
on
it.
the
Let's
post-game
go.
show.
We have a watch along too, so like
got
let's
a
roll
watch
right
along
into
going?
this.
Oh, we doing
Watch
a watch along?
watching the whole
Okay.
show. Before we out of here,
Get
we're going to
in
play a
with
clip
it.
from Zach. He was live at the Bills Stadium.
go, Bo.
And it's cold out there, so
Let's
you know what I'm
go,
saying? Check it out.
We're at the Broncos and Bills tailgate here outside Highmark Stadium, and we are asking fans questions. Blind ranking. So I'm going to give you two players. Tell me which one you'd want. Player A, 29 passing touchdowns, 3,775 passing yards. Player B, 28 passing touchdowns, 3,731 passing yards. Which one are you taking?
Blindly, with those stats, I'm taking player one. I'll take player A. Player A.
Player A, you're taking Bo Nix over Josh Allen.
Oh, no, I made a mistake. I misspoke there.
You don't even buy it.
Oh, fucking right. God bless Bo Nix.
What would you do if the Broncos beat the Bills today?
Oh, I don't even know. I mean, we've been there before, so I'd probably just go home and be pissed for 2 weeks. Bathe in a pool of buffalo wings.
Oh, spicy ones?
Oh, the hottest. Go home in shame. We're beating the Broncos by double digits.
Score prediction.
42-20.
42-20. Okay, I'm holding you to it. Next question. What would you do for a Broncos win today?
Just about anything. Honest, I'm here for it. You tell me what to do. If I can do something that can guarantee a Broncos win, I will do it.
Jump through tables, eat 100 chicken wings.
100, yeah, 200 if you need me to.
Let's go.
Broke my 9th other finger.
Re-break that one too?
Yeah.
Wow, that's dedication. That's it from the tailgate. Shout out to Bills fans for being great hosts, but the Broncos, lot of fans here. See if the Broncos can pull it off. Let's Bo!
We all silly like the mayor.